So in everyone's spiritual journey, I think that this is a major part of everybody's spiritual journey, and it definitely was for me. You might get to this place where positivity almost seems like superfluous. Like you don't need to be positive anymore because you're in such a good place. And then you start the healing process and your dark night of the soul. And you get to this place where you could find yourself in like a deep depression. And the concept of positivity is so far out of your mind, so far away from how you feel, that it just seems fake. It doesn't seem like something that you want to embody. Well, I was there. I've felt that. I know what it feels like. And I think that it's really important for us to start talking about how much we do need positivity in our lives. And this is not toxic positivity. This is not ignoring our reality or ignoring the negative things and pushing things away. This is choosing a better feeling story, choosing better feeling thoughts and emotions. And I want to talk about how to get back to a positive place of radiant, compassion, loving, self-love energy so that your frequency can be high and you can continue to manifest the life you desire and the life that you deserve. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel, we talk about spirituality, the law of attraction, self-development, aliens, and so much more. And today I want to talk about basically how to get out of a funk, how to get out of a depressive or anxious episode in which positivity just seems so far out of the question that you start to put it way on the back burner. And I think that it's so important to come back to ourselves, come back to our natural state of being, because humans want to feel good. It feels good to feel good, right? Sometimes we want to feel bad too, and it's comfortable to feel bad. And it seems to me, if you're like me, that it's almost as if feeling bad is even more comfortable than the thought of trying to feel good. But at some point in your life, you're going to get to a place where you're like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to feel negative all the time. I don't want to feel hopeless all the time. I want to feel good. I want to look for the good in life. And the thing is that we manifest the majority of our reality from the subconscious mind. We'll talk about that in this video. So we have to feed our subconscious mind with more positivity. And our conscious mind is the one doing that feeding. When we go through different challenges and changes in our lives, it could be a major life change, a breakup, an ending of something that we loved, an ending of one way of life, for example, what we've all been going through recently, or mourning the loss of someone, as we've been mourning as a collective consciousness here in the US for sure. Mourning the loss of a thing, of a potentiality even, of a potential something that could have happened, right? Whatever it may be, sometimes we get too comfortable existing in that place. So personally, I was there for a very long time. On my healing journey, I've been doing very deep shadow work for at least almost 2 years now. I'd say about a year and 6 to 9 months or so, I've been doing deep shadow work. And positivity wasn't on the forefront of my mind. And positive thoughts and positive actions, even though I was living a very high vibrational life, which was keeping me steady, I wasn't actively working on being a positive person. If you're like me and you're just naturally a pretty positive person, you might get to the place in your spiritual journey where you don't feel that way anymore. And you gotta get back to that place, because that's how we manifest what we want. Because when you go really deep into your depths and into the shadow, it's really easy to forget to come up for air. I feel like I'm finally ready to come up for air. And if nothing resonates with you in this video, then it might not be your time yet to come up for that breath. And that's okay. Come back when it's time. Come back when you're ready. But it feels better here, so I want to invite you back. But before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to one of our favorites on this channel. Today's sponsor is Skillshare. I've been loving your messages to me about the new skills and the new hobbies that you've picked up recently. Some of you have even started to create your own careers, your own freelancing careers, based on things that you learned from Skillshare. And for me, as a lifelong learner, I love that, and I use creativity as self-care, so Skillshare has been a huge part of my life, especially these days. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes. The topics range from illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, creative self-care, business, and more. Skillshare classes combine video lessons and class projects, and they can fit into anybody's schedule and skill level. And if you're feeling anxious right now, I can't recommend it enough. It is so soothing to sit in front of your computer for 1 hour and to completely learn something new. So recently, you might know that I've been working on getting my own podcast started. I've been doing these long form content videos here on YouTube and getting prepped to start interviewing people and start doing my own podcast. So Skillshare has come in so clutch. I found this class called Podcasting Secrets, how to start your own podcast. It's for beginners and it takes you step by step throughout the whole process. It teaches you how to set goals, how to find your target listeners, even how to choose your podcast title, which I'm so excited to get into that lesson, because if you know my struggle, that's been like the number one. What do I call my podcast? Skillshare is also super affordable. If you get the premium membership, it comes out to about $10 a month, something like that. And because they're sponsoring this video, the first 1,000 of you who use the link below get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for absolutely free. So get on there, try out your trial, tell me what classes you're taking and what you're learning, and start to explore your creativity. Without any further ado, let's get into my pretty comprehensive game plan of how to get back to ourselves, how to get back to a positive place. So the first thing I want to talk about is acknowledging your emotions. So the last thing that we want to do is to spiritually bypass anything that we're feeling. We're not trying to ignore our negative emotions here. We're not trying to push away our reality, push things away. We're actually trying to immerse ourselves within them, feel them out, and let them pass out through us. Because realistically, you know that what we resist persists, and not only does it persist, it grows larger in size. So the way that we feel our emotions and make sure that they don't get stagnant and stuck within us is by doing self-healing. So the way that I do this is I like to do EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. If you're new to this, you can look it up online and it'll tell you exactly how to do it, but I also have a video explaining it myself, and I'll link that below. The second thing I like to do to deal with my emotions is to journal. I do a sort of stream of consciousness journaling, just talking about how I feel and going as far back, seeing how far back I can take this emotion. Like, when was the first time I felt this way? That's always a really good question to ask yourself when acknowledging emotions that you're feeling. And it's also telling yourself, like, it's okay to feel the way that you feel. You feel envious or angry or frustrated or sick of injustice, whatever it is that we're feeling, it's okay that you're feeling this way. Now journal about it, write all about it, get it all out on paper. The last thing I like to do is I really like to use breath work as a healing modality. Breath work is a 3-part breath. It's and you do this for an extended amount of time. I have my own breathwork meditation that guides you and explains breathwork for you, but you can look it up online. It's available anywhere, and I will put my own breathwork meditation that people absolutely love, that I've heard is life-changing, if I do say so myself. I'll link that below for you so you can check that out. So EFT, breathwork, and journaling, doing things to acknowledge how you're feeling. Therapy is really good. So having somebody that you can speak to and be like, this is what I'm going through right now, this is how I'm feeling. If you have a good friend that you can talk to or a family member, those are all beautiful ways to acknowledge the emotion, because the last thing we want to do is to push it away and ignore it. We want to go through it, not over it, not under it, but through it. On the other side is light, so we want to get there. So the way that you're feeling is not being negative. It is just, being a human being and experiencing the full scope of human experiences is part of being a human, and it's perfectly fine. It's just that we don't want to exist there. We don't want our entire lives to be in those negative emotions. We want to go through them. We don't want to park up there and, build a home in that emotion, right? So we keep going, we keep it pushing, we keep moving forward. And then once we acknowledge the feeling, we can become very proactive about getting back to a good place, about being happier, about bringing that positivity back. And this is how I do it. And there's a lot of things that you can do. And honestly, even just one of these things is going to make a big difference for you. So whatever resonates for you is what you should be doing. So the first thing that I recommend doing is deciding on doing something new, and something that you actually have to make an appointment for, or RSVP for, or book. So whether it be a class, like a new workout class, a session with a therapist, a healing or hypnosis session, an acupuncture session, a membership program to some sort of meditation school, or, acting class or something like that. A book club, acupuncture, something new. I think I said acupuncture twice because it's on my mind. Something new that you can make an appointment to and then look forward to it. Having something to look forward to, especially something that's going to improve your life, give you something to do, is going to be so vibration raising. It's going to uplift you and it's going to make you feel like you have something going on. A lot of us just don't plan little fun and interesting, different consciousness expanding things for ourselves, and we have to do that. So in whatever way you can do it, even if it's making plans to see somebody that you haven't seen in a while that you know is going to uplift you, make plans for the future. So for me, this was going back to working out with my trainer and booking him for 2-3 times a week, knowing that I'm doing something for myself in those times and I look forward to those times. That was also starting to see my acupuncturist again, which I'm going to 2 times a month now. It's something that I do for myself that I look forward to. The last thing was starting an in-person book club with my friends. It's something that I do during the week. I read the book and I take notes so that I can discuss it at one point with my friends. It's something to look forward to, right? And whatever it is, it can be something that I did not name. And actually, if you have a recommendation for people for something that they could book or plan ahead of time to look forward to, comment it down below so that you can inspire somebody else out there. Now, you don't have to do a bunch of new things at once. I actually added each one of these things little by little. So it was first my acupuncturist, and then my trainer, and then the book club. Little by little, adding more positive things into my life, more well-roundedness into my life. My second recommendation, I think that this needs to be a non-negotiable. I think that we should wake up every single day and repeat affirmations. As soon as you open your eyes in the morning, maybe even before opening your eyes. If you've been around in this channel a long time, you know that my morning routine is to immediately set an intention. Like, today is going to be positive, today is going to be productive, today is going to be great. When we fall off that positivity wagon, sometimes we forget to do things like that. So now every morning when I wake up, I just repeat affirmations, super simple ones like, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am powerful, I am loving, I am compassionate. And it feels so good. And then often what I'll even do is when I go brush my teeth and wash my face and do all my business, I put on affirmation YouTube videos. So I have many that I have recorded for you guys. You can check them out on my channel, and my energy is transferred to you through them. I personally listen to other people because I find it a little bit weird to listen to myself, right? So I repeat them when I'm in bed, and then when I get out and I'm brushing my teeth, whatever, I'm also listening to them. I've also liked to listen to them on the way to wherever I need to go, to the market or whatever. Now, why are affirmations so important? Just on a little bit of a tangent, I want to explain how affirmations actually work. So affirmations talk to our subconscious mind, and you don't necessarily actually have to say them out loud, but you should create a pattern of at least listening to them every day, creating a repetitive pattern, because what happens is our subconscious mind thinks that whatever we do repeatedly is important. Because it's important, it listens to that even more. It pays attention to that habit even more. So repetition is understood by the mind as something of importance. When we give the subconscious mind a command through the conscious mind, such as an affirmation, such as I am strong and healthy, the subconscious mind doesn't actually understand the difference between reality and fantasy. So what we are doing is creating an imprint, a neural pathway in our mind that says, I am strong and healthy. As we repeat it every day and go back to this affirmation every day, we are creating a stronger and stronger neural pathway. We manifest 80 to 90%, and actually today I saw that it's about 95%. 95% of our reality is manifested from the subconscious mind. And we manifest from the subconscious mind through these neural pathways, through these physical pathways in our brain that we have created. So you have to create new pathways so that your subconscious mind can manifest from those affirmations. So we create our reality primarily through the subconscious mind. And so we're programming our subconscious mind to create what we are affirming. In the past, our mind has been, basically our consciousness is hijacked, right? So the neural pathways that we've had aren't necessarily our own. We didn't choose to create them. So now through affirmations and brain retraining, we are creating new neural pathways. Speaking of hypnotherapy, that's another thing that I'm doing to get back to a good place in my life. Hypnotherapy is a way to reprogram your brain, retrain your brain. I have my own hypnosis sessions here on YouTube. I'll link them down below. I also like to listen to Michael Seeley's. He's here on YouTube, and his hypnosis sessions are awesome, so I really recommend those. Now, another really important way to get ourselves out of that funk, out of that episode, out of that time in our lives when we're just stuck in a negative feedback loop is to start to consider that we have to water what we want to grow. Now, weeds and flowers, they both grow with sunshine and water, right? But one is considered desirable and one is considered undesirable. So the same goes for our thoughts. Our negative and positive thoughts will manifest into reality when we give them enough attention, when we give them that love, that watering. And you can water things with negative attention as well. So if you have a thought that you're consistently thinking about, that you're stuck in this loop of thinking about it, you are watering that thought. So consider what you are giving your attention to, what energy you're feeding, what thought form you're feeding, right? So the way that we do this is by becoming aware and conscious of that story that we're telling ourselves all day long. This requires a certain practice of being mindful and present, not living in autopilot, not reacting without thinking, not thinking without taking a second before you're thinking or becoming aware of those thoughts, right? So we become aware of the thoughts that we say all day long. We become aware of what we're saying about ourselves, about other people, and then we decide, well, is this a thought that I want to have? I just had a 30-minute conversation talking about this other girl with my friend. Is this something that I want to water? Or can I do something better with my time? Can we talk about, our ideas for the future, or what something good that happened to us this week? Can we have better feeling conversations? Can we choose better feeling thoughts, better feeling words and stories? So it is up to us. It's our responsibility to be the ones who are picking and choosing and curating our minds, curating what goes on in our mind. And again, this is not bypassing those negative emotions. We're dealing with them. When a negative emotion comes up, you don't just completely replace it. You consider for a second, well, why am I having this negative emotion? And if it's just a feedback loop, like you've been spiraling and telling yourself the same story and the same statement and the same negative thought form over and over again, and you've already dealt with it, at this point it's time to just replace it. Just replace it with something more positive. Replace it with something that you do want to happen, that you do want to water. Take out the weeds and replant new flowers. There are so many ways to get ourselves out of that negative feedback loop that I'm having trouble saying right now, out of that spiral, and come back up the emotional spiral, back to a good and high vibration. You should be sitting out in the sun. I recently found out from a recent interview on this channel that it takes the sun 8 minutes and 20 seconds to bring new sunlight into Earth. The sun travels 8 minutes and 20 seconds until it hits Earth. So we need that time to receive that new sunlight and that new information, because light is information. So it doesn't take us that much time to be outside in normal everyday lives. If you don't actively choose and consciously choose to spend time outdoors, you're not even getting 8 minutes of sunlight outside, because it doesn't take you 8 minutes to go to your car. You're not outside. If you're in an apartment building like I am, going from my house to my car, I'm not even exposed to sunlight. So getting at least 10 to 20 minutes of sunlight directly on you during the day, preferably before 12 p.m., which I've talked to a lot of holistic estheticians, and they say that the sun is best for us without SPF before 12 p.m., but not for longer than that, because you will get burnt. So get at least 8.5 minutes every day, but 10 to 20 minutes of sunlight before 12 p.m. is a great thing to add to your routine. And now I feel like a broken record with the rest of these, so I'm just going to list them off because this is really crucial. And without one of these, I don't think I would have been able to get back to feeling good like I'm feeling right now. And it's still a process, I'm still taking care of myself. If you go check out my Instagram, you'll see that I've chosen to step away a little bit from posting and from interacting so much, because it's taken a toll on me this past few months that I've been interacting and posting a lot more than usual. Get off social media. Get off of there. It is, if you need this, right? If you need this. If you're spending too much time, I don't think there's anybody out there who's spending 6 hours on social media every day and they're happy that they're doing it. Get off social media, because it is harming our mental health, okay? Take a whole day off. Take a whole week off. Take a weekend off. Take what you need. Take an afternoon off. Just disconnect, because our souls are being sucked in by these machines. So disconnect when you can. Wake up early, listen to music that makes you happy. I've been listening to older music that I haven't listened to for a while. Music that reminds me of like being in Hawaii with Aaron, and like fun things that I haven't done in a while, like Nako Bear and Medicine for the People, Leeor, just a lot of high vibrational music. And that's going to mean something different for you, right? You might like techno, you might like rap, whatever it is for you that brings your energy up and your vibrations, raises your frequency, listen to that. Now your diet, I just want to say diet, and then the rest I'm just going to list off. It is so important to understand that our nutrition provides the raw materials needed for new cells to be created in our bodies. So basically, whatever that we eat, we are becoming. We become what we eat and what we consume, in a spiritual sense and in a physical sense. Also what we consume, like people that we put into our bodies, media that we put into our bodies, whatever it is that we're consuming, we become. And food is top of that list. So you're either becoming a juicy peach or you're becoming a cheeseburger. And I am not one to push my vegan diet on you guys. You guys know I barely even speak about it. You know very well that I'm vegan by now, I would say. But I try not to push my own beliefs onto people. It's something that I offer. And something that you might want to think about is when an animal is being killed and slaughtered to become meat, cortisol flushes their body. That fear flushes their body. Trauma flushes their body. And then that ends up on your plate. So just consider what you want in your body. Just be discerning of it. And the more nutrient-dense, high vibrational, raw foods we have in our diet, the better. You can definitely eat healthy as a non-vegan. I know many people who do and who have a very high vibrational lifestyle. It's just consider where it comes from. Consider that these sentient beings are literally being bred to become food. Like imagine if humans were bred only to become food. That's crazy. Sorry to get there. The other things I wanted to talk about is waking up early. For me, that's crucial. Moving around every day, even if it's just a walk, trying to get 10,000 steps in a day, which would be about, if you're like me, about 45 minutes walk in the morning, early morning I like to do, and then 45 minutes in the evening. That brings us to around 10,000 steps a day, and it's really good for our health, and it lets energy and stuck emotions move around too. You'll become more creative. It's good all around. And then spending time with people you love and putting your phone away. Put the phone away. In our book club, we put our phone away for the evening. And dinner with my family, we put our phone away while we're together. Just having that time to disconnect from that weird, warped reality in which we exist in, and then being in this reality, which we chose to be in on a soul level, being here is really important. That's it for me today, because this video is long enough already about how to get out of a funk and get back to yourself. If it was helpful for you at all, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on this video. And if you could share it, it would make me really happy and spread some more joy and love around in this world, because we all desperately need it. And it's very normal and natural to lose yourselves once in a while. Other than that, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And until next time, keep your vibrations way up. I love you. Bye.